Good morning. Welcome to Face It, You're an Atheist. This is episode 4. It is Wednesday. No, it's not. It is definitely Thursday, July 16th. My apologies. This podcast is a podcast for those who are stuck in religion and for those who are recovering from previous religious beliefs. Everything that I mention about religion is based upon my personal experiences as a former Christian, as a Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, and evangelical Christian type. This podcast is meant to question and challenge the logic of religious activities and their basic beliefs. So, let's get right down to it. I'm actually not even going to start with anything I was planning to talk about. So, right before I began to speak, I came upon this article from this Daily Caller, I think it's called. Yeah, the Daily Caller. I don't know how legit it is, but it says tech CEO found decapitated and hacked to pieces in New York City. I mean, just that headline is is captivating. So I had to read on. And there was a torso found with pieces of the body missing, and the head was in pieces, in bags, at a bloodless crime scene. So it was like very, it was professionally done, if you can say it that way. So, wow, yeah, what a crazy world we live in. What a way to start the day there, huh? Good morning. It is 8:14 in the morning where I am in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I have a few things I wanted to talk about today. One of them being, I don't know if anybody saw yesterday the whole conundrum with Nick Cannon. But, Nick, what's going on, bro? What's up? I mean, I'll be honest. The first thing that I thought when I heard that is, this MFer is trying to make his own freaking religion, man. But then my second thought was, is it really surprising that he said that? I mean, anyone who watches Wild 'N Out on MTV, like, I mean, I feel like that dude has said probably anti-Semitic things before on there. It just wasn't ever brought up because, it's a rap battle. You're allowed to say whatever the hell you want. So, I don't know, but, so anyway, Nick Cannon got in trouble because he claimed that black people were more connected because of the melanin in their skin, which I had never heard of melanin. I didn't know what that was. I'm like Casper White. So I went and looked it up, and it's just the pigmentation of your skin. Like it's the stuff that colors you basically, or doesn't color you. So, but right underneath that, there was another Google search for neuromelanin. So I was like, maybe it was that. However, that has no proof that it like brings people together or makes them more powerful or anything. It really doesn't do anything, but they think it protects the body somehow. So, because Nick Cannon wanted to claim that there was a higher race, it's kind of what basically his claims were. He lost his contract with Viacom, I think CBS, which I think is a good punishment. But wow. He apologized afterwards, but sometimes, especially as someone trying to look and think at the world logically, you got to look at the person's first remark. But I also understand that there's forgiveness as well, which I'm totally not against. So I can totally forgive him, but wow. That was pretty crazy. I feel like I'm just watching a religion being born within Nick Cannon, though. It's just gonna be like. Actually, I guess that would work if ever a priest was coming to priesthood or whatever that's called. Like, within the Catholic Church of being canonized. So if it was Nick Cannon's church, the priests would be canonized. But so I listened back to my recording when I did that yesterday, and I was like, man, I gotta make that like symbol last longer at the end. So hopefully that sounds better when I play that back. But no, man, I really wish this whole like white black thing would stop. Like, we're the supreme, we're the supreme, we're the supreme. Like, who's the supreme? And this is something that I've come to learn as an atheist. Who's the supreme are the people who are going to work their ass off in whatever field and whatever they want to do. I was watching an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson yesterday, and one of the things that he said, which I totally agree with, was if somebody told him that he couldn't do something, he would go and pick it up and go and do it just to prove to them that he could do it. In fact, he told this whole long story about his father and how his father achieved great heights because of that attitude. So I don't necessarily know that it matters what color you are. I don't think that matters at all. I think what it comes down to are the people who are going to work the hardest to get to the goals that they want to. That's who's going to be the supreme human beings. So anyway, yesterday there was an interesting podcast that came out. I don't know who is familiar with Peter Schiff. If you're not familiar with Peter Schiff, let me enlighten you. He is an economist who is all about gold and silver, and he has been calling the crashing of the American economy for the last 2 decades, basically, the last 15 to 20 years. So I get a notification on my phone that he was on the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday, and I was like, oh yes, please, because I absolutely love Joe Rogan. So I'm about 20-25 minutes in, and Peter Schiff it was like he was on a loop. First of all, it wasn't live. He was in front of a backdrop that was his company, his gold and silver company. It was very cheesy, but it was all a teleconference. So because of coronavirus. So about 20 to 25 minutes in, Peter Schiff had just repeated the same line about, I don't know, 55, 78 times, maybe 3,000. I'm not real sure. It was a whole bunch. And just kept talking about how the economy is going to crash, the dollar's going to crash, gold and silver is going to go up. You need to buy gold and silver, which obviously is in interest of his company. Now I wanted to talk about this because for a couple of years, I've been a fan of Peter Schiff. But I think that it's not logical to listen to people like that who are always calling the downfall of something. And here's why I wanted to tie that in to this podcast and to Christianity and to atheism, because I believe that Peter Schiff has this sort of Christian attitude that my church taught. It was always doom and gloom. It was always hellfire and brimstone. Don't do this or you'll go to hell. Don't do that and you'll still go to hell. Or there was always a very horrible ending. And I feel like people like that in our society just have way too much influence. And I feel like that influence comes from religion, because you don't really see that outside of religion. You see hope. You see change. Inside religion, it's always, well, the world's going to end anyway. Fuck it. So I don't think I love him anymore, man. Like, I really liked him. What he said for like the last, I don't know, 3-4 years, it made sense to me. Now I don't know, man. It's just not logical to me. But within that episode, I think it was within that episode. No, it was another one. It was with Bob Saget. It was the day before. There was a video of Bill Burr in 2008, or a mention of the video, I should say, of Bill Burr in 2008. It's called The Philly Explosion. I highly recommend this video. it it's just Bill Burr exploding on the city of Philadelphia, and it is hilarious. I guess they don't like each other. I don't know the understory, but I'm assuming it's sports. That's basically what he was blasting them for. But it was a good like 8 or 9 minutes. He just drilled them while they booed him, and then some of the crowd cheered him, and then at the end he got a standing ovation. But it was incredible. So I highly recommend that. Go to YouTube. No, I'm not getting paid for any of this. If somebody wants to pay me though, hit me up. Definitely let me know. But yeah, I will not turn that down. But yeah, I will definitely recommend that Bill Burr video. It's hilarious if you just want to laugh your ass off for 8 or 9 minutes and just watch a crowd just get picked apart by Bill Burr. It's amazing. But anyway, getting back to what I was originally talking about, which is being an atheist dad to a child. Now I'm like, how am I gonna raise him when I don't really like have a fallback? My parents always had a fallback. You know, why can't I do that? Because God said so. Why can't I say that? Because you'll go to hell. Why can't I, do this, do that, do this, do that? Because the church said so. Because Jesus doesn't want you to. Because I mean, it was just all day. It was, But like, I feel like I actually have to explain things to my child. And I don't know if that's like a weird concept to anybody. And if it is, please reach out. Let me know. If it's not, please reach out. Let me know. But I feel like when my son's, asks me something moral, Dad, why can't I hit him? I'm not going to go, well, because God doesn't want you to, you know. I'm going to go, well, because when you hit him, it hurts him. It also has a chance of injuring you. So every time that you hit someone, you're taking life away from them. And you're not helping anybody. And the point of being here is helping people and being nice and learning how to get along. And I feel like that's sufficient, right? It's very weird not having like a religious based parenting style, because like growing up a lot of the times I always heard like, well, there's no book on parenting, there's no book on parenting, there's no book on parenting. Yes, there is. If you're a Christian, there's an entire freaking with many. I mean, there's a book with many books inside, with over what 3,000 pages or something, depending on the version. But when you're a person of logic and see that life is really kind of a Darwinian thing. I don't know if that's a word, but that is really fun to say. Darwinian. It also just kind of rolls right off the tongue. Darwinian. Darwinian. I won't do that again. Okay. So anyway, but trying to teach your child that like it's kind of like it's not kill or be killed, but it is in a sense. In business, if you're not on top of your game, someone else is going to be on top of your game and make it their game. Isn't that kind of the kill or be killed scheme still? I don't know. I just know for me, I'm really nervous about the upcoming life that I have, the parents that I'm going to meet, because I'm sure I'm going to run into some of those evangelic parents who don't leave you alone and try to drag you to church, and it's my biggest nightmare. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me know your thoughts. Any new dads out there, or any dads who have successfully raised their child as an atheist, but an unbiased one. That is all I have. Be safe. Don't catch COVID. Don't vote for Donald Trump. Don't vote for Joe Biden. Vote for Jo Jorgensen. She is the libertarian option, the sensible option. And also her brain isn't melting from all the cocaine and drug use she's done over the years. Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. Anyway, that is all I have for today. Thank you very much, my friends, for listening. Have a great day. Peace.